So I want to direct that we handle query on board expenses as our query now. So we are looking at board expenses, which is not addressed, as our query number one. Then dependency on grants as query number two. And then non-preparation of financial statements as query number three. So auditor, kindly take us through the query on board expenses.
Thank you, Chair. Board expenses. The financial statement reflect Kenya shilling 350 and 711,200, all totaling to 1,661,200 in respect of sitting allowances and conference cost, respectively, as disclosed in Note 14. This amount further includes 300,000 paid in respect to repairs of furniture and car hire services, respectively, which did not relate to expenses for the board. The board expenses may have been overstated by a similar amount, thereby making the financial statement misstated. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, the response of the management.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the management notes that Marsabit Municipality had an approved budget of Kenya shillings 1,261,200 for all the board-related expenses, that is sitting allowances, travel and accommodation, training costs, catering expenses, cleaning costs, stationery, and maintenance costs. The expenditure of Kenya shillings 300,000 related to various activities that were budgeted as above and was incurred to facilitate operations of the municipality board during the financial year as follows. One, payment of Kenya shillings 28,800 related to expenses incurred on assembling, repair, and maintenance of furniture and fittings in the municipality boardroom. Office utility expenses payment of Kenya shillings 27,500 related to sanitary and cleaning materials for board members' offices. Payment of Kenya shillings 64,100 related to expenses incurred on purchase of milk and bottled water during municipality board meetings. Mr. Chairman, the payments of Kenya shillings 99,600 payment voucher amounts 65,600 and Kenya shillings 34,000 related to expenses incurred on office stationaries for municipality board members. And finally, the payments of Kenya shillings 80,000, that is payment vouchers amounts to 64,000 and 16,000 related to expenses incurred on car hire services to facilitate transport services for municipality board members in discharging their duties. These expenses were correctly charged to the board expenses vote as budgeted for during the financial year 2022-2023. Attached, Mr. Chairman, please find an extract of the municipality recurrent and approved budget for your reference at appendix number 3.
Very well. Auditor, what is your comments on that response?
I think the problem started from the budgeting, because it's true they have charged under board expenses, but those are not board expenses like utilities, stationaries. We expect in a board expense maybe sitting allowance, honoraria, but these are expenses which can be charged in another fort, maybe use of goods and services.
So maybe the treasury, you can tell us more about this. You are the ones who provide the standards, public sector accounting standards, how would you capture these other costs?
Thank you, Chair. I think as the auditor is putting it, the problem was from the beginning of budgeting, because itemizing, you can budget for a whole amount, but it needs to be itemized. So when you like, I've not seen the vouchers, but when from the expenditure of the vouchers, you can see their purchase, meaning their vouchers for purchase of furniture, which of course I think from what I understand is that the county could have make this expenditure from the main account. I think that was the main problem, because when you say body expenses, then one would expect like body allowances, something to do with the body. But from the expenses, it's just like general expenses for the main account. So that was the main issue. Because now it is good that when the budget is done, then there is that chart of account which needs to be looked at, because there's the chart of account that will give the item of every expenditure. So every expenditure has to be done using that chart of account. So I think the interpretation of the body expense was just general, and then it was charged in that item. Sorry.
So maybe the auditor, you can tell the committee, was there any loss of funds, or this was just an issue of classification of these expenses?
It's a classification issue.
Chair.
Okay, Senator.
Chair, if you look at Annex 3, yeah, you know Annex 3 is basically has been itemized properly. This is basically like a chart of accounts. So I think the issue that the governor has is there is a capacity issue with the accountants, because that's what I can see, that from budgeting, this is what they should have budgeted, because the budget should have been done this way so that when you spend, it corresponds. So what I'm seeing here is a capacity issue, nothing else. Yeah, I don't know if the governor and the county, they have any qualified CPA accountants within the county, because these are, even if you check the earlier issues that were already addressed, it's as a result of basically either carelessness or capacity issue. That's what I can only see, Chair.
Senator Mutinda.
Thank you, Chair. My concern is two things. One, where are the minutes indicating that meetings took place that warranted the payment for the allowances of the board members? Secondly, as the Treasury has also put it, my concern is on this issues of these payments. Payment of 28,800. Where is the voucher for payment? Where is the voucher for the 27,500 payment? These are just figures, and anybody can just type. This is a Word document. Where are the vouchers? I think that is what should be able to ascertain that even as much as the budget was put in place, but these expenses took place correctly. Where are these documents? Governor and your team.
Maybe you can respond to the two issues.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On the issue of the format of the budgeting, Mr. Chairman, if you check at appendix number 3, these issues have been documented here and clearly shown, item by item, what expenditures were incurred under board operations. But as you rightly observed, we've discussed this internally, and we have agreed that these issues will be revisited and correctly presented henceforth, Mr. Chairman. On the issue of the vouchers, as requested by the senator, honorable senator. These ones have been verified even by the auditors. So it's not part of what is requested today. If need be, we will be able to avail, but these have been verified, Mr. Chairman.
Have any other issue?
Yes, Chair. At this point, even before proceed further, can the auditors tell the committee who signed the financial statements?
It's somebody by the name CPA Carl Wako Kuyo. ISPAC number 18333.
Number, please repeat. Sorry.
Pardon?
The number again.
ISPAC number 18333.
Thank you, Auditor. Through the chair once again. Governor, do you have the one Mr. CPA Guyo with you today?
It's right here, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Right here.
Who is he? Guyo, can the Sergeant at Arms provide mic, please? Chair, through you. Thank you. Mr. Guyo, your number is 18333, true?
Yes. Yes.
You seem to be active, but you're not in good standing as far as accounting standards are concerned. Would you tell the committee the reason as to why?
I've not paid for my subscription this year, but I'm planning to pay.
You're not getting your salary? What is the problem, my brother? Governor, ulipi mtu yako?
I think the explanation for that is that they have too many assignments, they're very busy. Probably if it's, and it's the beginning of the year, I think he'll make an effort to do it.
Through you, Chair, once again, and back to the gentleman, CPA Guyo, we are in August, for Christ's sake. It is not the beginning of the year. We are actually coming to the end of the year, and you're not able to even keep your own personal documents that should require you to adhere to the ISPAC membership standards. That then puts us to query your competence, and Senator Kisang had actually put it, because the issues the auditors are raising, the issues that have been brought out are issues then that question your competency, your credibility to be able to adhere to the accounting standards as per the PFM Act and the Audit Act. What do you have to say about the query in terms of the issue of the allocation of the budget for the board members?
This is the first time to interact with this template, and going forward, I'll make an effort that there will be no errors.
Sorry, I came late. What is your position, and for how long have you been in the county?
I've been in the county for the last 10 years.
10 years?
Yes.
You've worked with the two governors?
Yes.
What's your position, the official position currently?
Head of Finance.
You're the CEC Finance?
No. Head of Finance at Marsabit Municipality.
Oh, at the municipality?
Yes.
10 years?
Not 10 years, but for municipality since last year.
But within the county of Marsabit, you've been there within the finance department?
Yes.
For 10 years, so you're familiar with the accounting standards and how to do the financial statements. You're familiar because you've even signed the financial statements.
Yes.
But you ignore to adhere to the standards.
That's an oversight, but going forward, I will address it.
Thank you. Chair, I take it back to you.
I think we will give a recommendation that the accounting staff, you need to adhere to the standards. You've been given the Public Sector Accounting Standards Board, which you must adhere to, so that you correctly show the nature of the expenses. So I think we will be reviewing this matter as we go on in the subsequent audits. For now, now we are going to give a cautionary recommendation. Now that the auditor stated that there were no loss of funds, but expenses must be categorized correctly moving forward.
Let me get a clarity from him through you, Chair, because yesterday this popped up. Mr. Cyprian Guyo, did you just sign the financial statements or you are also involved in the preparations for this financial statement?
I'm involved. I'm involved in the preparation and also signed.
Thank you so much. So, what happened to the last two financial statements, the last 2 years, as the auditors put it?
We have not prepared as at the time of audit, but after the auditor's recommendation, we've prepared and presented.
What made you not prepare, knowing very well the PFM Act requires you that within 3 months of each financial year, you should be able to submit your financials?
Maybe we can hold on to that because we have a similar query, which is the next one.
Okay, Chair.
It's coming where we can exhaust it there. Yeah, so honorable members, let's move to the next query. Dependency on grants. Auditor?
Thank you, Chair. The statement of financial performance reflects that 6.4 million in respect of transfer from county government. However, the whole amount relates to grant from Kenya Urban Support Program, the only source of funding both on development as well as recurrent expenses. In the unlikely event of failure to receive such funding from the donors, the board may not be able to meet its obligation as and when they fall due. The financial statement have therefore been prepared on going concern basis with assumption of continued financial support from the donors. In the circumstances, the municipality may cease operations when the donor funding is cut off. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, your response?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The operation of the board and the municipality is funded through the Mother Department of Lands, Physical Planning, Energy and Urban Development. However, efforts are underway to have the municipality funded directly by the county executive. And at this point, Mr. Chairman, I wish to bring to the attention of the committee that the staff of the municipality from the county government of Marsabit, it's not from the partners or donors, but due to financial constraints, we rely on the donors to bridge the gap for some of the operations that have been noted by the auditors.
I don't know whether the query, because the query was that 36 million was transferred from the county government as part of the grants under Urban Support Program. And the query seems to be asking why that is not sustainable. Because in the event, unlikely event, that the county has no that support from the Urban Support Program, then the municipality will suffer. So in the sense, and the auditor you can correct, what you are trying to say is that there is no any other source of income for the municipality. Is that what you are trying to say from the query?
Exactly, that is it. Because, okay, on part of the human resource, they are being funded from the county executive. So the entire amount is from Kenya Urban Support Program.
Chair.
Yes.
I believe you have the MD or the CEO for this municipality. We have him? Yes. You are the gentleman. What's your name, please?
Boris, my name. Boru.
Boro. Mr. Boro, through you, the chair. Sorry?
B-O-R-U.
Boro, yeah. Could you tell the committee the organogram of your management structure? Could you tell the committee how many staff you have? Could you tell the committee your own source of revenue as far as the municipality is concerned? Because you should be collecting cess, you should be collecting monies from licenses and any other services that you offer. And would you confirm to this committee as a manager that financially you're not independent because you have to depend from the donors? And lastly, for how long have you been the CEO of the municipality? I think that chair will be able to give us more highlight on how to proceed with this question.
Yes, and this query also, I don't know why the auditor did not point out that in other municipalities, we have always had a query on autonomy of the municipality. So maybe you can respond to that. What is the level of autonomy of your municipality so far? And when I say autonomy, this is in relation to the law, that is Urban Areas and Cities Act, which talks about 3 levels of autonomy. We have functional, we have managerial, and we have finance autonomy. So you can, through the governor, you can tell the committee about that.
Thank you, Chair. As I said, my name is Boru Golicha. I served in the position of Marsabit Municipal Manager for the last 4 years. The municipality has been in existence since 2019, when His Excellency the Governor chartered the board and the municipality. In total, we have got 66 members, comprising of technical and non-technical staff, the revenue officers, the fire marshals, the public health, and the unit in charge of environment. The organogram, as the Honorable Senator has asked, is we have a structured organogram approved by the County Public Service Board. I'm the head of the technical team. Under me, we have the revenue team, the unit headed by, of course, the supervisor. We have got the fire marshals as a unit. We have got the public health and the environment combined. Structurally, we report to the board as stipulated in the Urban Cities Act. The board has been in existence, and all the critical decisions are made at the board level. But functionally, we also report. We work closely. We are under Department of Lands. That's why we are here with our CC. And we have got a chief officer who is also in charge of urban development. So our reporting is directly to the board, but also to the department. Progressively, we are gaining autonomy. His Excellency the Governor has transferred some functions to Marsabit Municipality, which we are undertaking, but we are taking it in a progressive manner. Because in terms of staffing, we are also have some gaps, but the adverts are out for technical purposes. Sometimes we rely on the departments and other line departments. I should say, yes, we are autonomous, but progressively we are going forward to have a fully functional municipality on its own. Thank you.
You have not finished. The issue of the financial independence and also OSR.
Yes, on source revenue, yes. Within the jurisdiction of Marsabit Municipality, we raise our own resources that we don't have. We don't use at source. We transfer it to the county revenue fund, where it has been appropriated.
Just briefly take us through Bonasio, those ONSOs.
Oh yes, single business permit, Madam Senator, is one of them. We also charge the local materials, and this is guided by the Finance Act. We also make some charges from the parking, some parking charges. We are not yet the 100%, but we started off because the Cabro project is one of them. And that's it basically, yeah. And market stalls as well.
Chair, through the reason I'm concerned with also the ONSOs, and I don't know why the auditors did not give us the figures, because I needed to know in terms of figures, how much are they collecting? What is their ONSOs? Because according to this query, Chair, it seems that if they don't get the grant from the urban support program, then they are not able to sustain themselves. Because I don't understand why they are having this grant amounting to 36 million, and then they're not able to sustain themselves.
Let me write.
That's where the concern is. If you'd also guide in terms of how much were these figures for the ONSOs, do you have that?
Chair, can I write before Mutinda, before they answer your question? Let me write on what you just said. Chair, I'm noting that the autonomy that you've talked about, there is no autonomy. The municipal is still, as Kuyo has said, it is they report to the Department of Lands and the other one, and even that what they collect there as own source revenue, instead of putting into their own account for the municipal, they are putting into the CRF account, which I believe, Chair, you should be giving them interim recommendations so that forthwith they have an account, and then the governor, you only have less than 3 years before this is your second term. So you move so that at least leave this as a legacy, you leave the municipal to run on its own. And your municipal manager is a good man. I think we met somewhere the other day.
Better.
Governor, please respond to Senator Kisan.
Yeah, thank you, Senator, my brother. It's true, yeah, I have 3 years as per the law, but I was told you guys are seriously considering whether you can look at that act so that you revisit favorably. But that said, Mr. Chairman, if this committee so recommends, we'll go straight and implement what you recommend and give them that full autonomy as far as the finances are concerned.
Chair.
Yes, proceed.
Thank you, Chair. My question goes to the governor. You indicated here that you are paying the employees of the municipality. And in note 12, in the financial statements, the municipality incurred 538,500 for training expenses. Who are these people that were trained? And if they were trained, why isn't the expenses under the Board of Management?
Honorable Senator, if I get you right, the expenses were for the board members and the staff, right? And I thought it fell in the right place. It was captured correctly because that is matters to do with that board operation. If the board is taken out for some training, that is what we mean. If members of the staff are taken out for training, that is, I think, what we are talking about. But the CEO can clarify more clearly so that he can put the matter correctly before the committee.
Proceed, CEO.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, the expenses we incurred for the training for the board members and the staff, and mainly touched on the functions and the mandate of Marsabit Municipality. Mr. Chair, you'll agree with me, they can only deliver only when they know their mandate and to the extent to which the governor and the people of Marsabit expects the excellence in terms of service delivery. So we have recorded that those are some of the series of training that we have put in place in terms of to put the capacity in place and also to create a harmony between the board members and the staff.
Chair, under the staff cost, there is nothing indicated, and here the CEO is clearly telling us that they also train the staff. I think for good accounting standards, it was to be under the staff training, under their budget, but there's nothing on the staff. That is why I was asking the question.
Yeah, I think I understand what you are saying. What the senator is saying, that this municipality is, for financial purposes, is a reporting entity. And therefore, all the costs associated with the staffing or HR should be captured in the financial statements of the municipality. That therefore means if the county wants to help the municipality in paying salaries, then they need to do a grant to the municipalities. And then the municipality will now manage salaries and other staff costs. But if salaries are paid from the executive, and here is an entity that should exist financially independent, then there will be a problem. In case there is governance issues, who is responsible? Is it the county or is it the municipality? So I think based on the answer that is given by the executive here, I think it will be smooth if the county gives a grant to the municipality for the purpose of dealing with staff costs. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I hear you very clearly, and this coming, or rather next financial year, in our budget cycle, we will ensure that we will effect what the committee is directing.
Chair?
Yes.
On the same query, I have two key concerns. One is what has been raised by Senator Miraj in regards to the financial statement. Why is the cost for staff nil? And I would prefer if the finance manager would respond. And secondly, finance manager through the governor, what was the amount that you collected for on-source revenue?
Thank you, Chair. If you look at number Annex 2.2, number 87, we have staff cost. That relates to 87, Annex 2.2, page 87. Staff cost, note number 13. Note number 13, staff cost.
We are there.
Yes, we are there. It's page 86.
Sorry.
Yes.
If you look at it, we have salaries and wages.
Yes.
Staff gratuity, social
Yes.
security, and others.
Correct.
All these are related to salaries.
Yes.
Which is being incurred at the county treasury, or rather under the Department of Urban Development. So as a municipality, we don't directly pay staff salaries.
No, can I take it back to the auditors, because how do we have financial statements with nil posting? Because that's an expenditure, that's a cost, that's a recurrent expenditure.
This one is being reported under county executive.
No, it's okay. Just hold on it as you give me my answer for on-source revenue. Clarity from the auditors on this posting.
I think this one,
they didn't have a cost.
Yeah.
They don't have financial, that the way we have discussed, they don't have financial autonomy. Their employees' cost is taken care of by the executive. If they bring the same, it will be a double
Entry.
entry.
But my concern is to understand this. Let's go slowly. I would want to understand their recurrent expenditure as far as the wages are concerned and salaries for the staff versus how much they receive. Because you cannot be paying staff, case example, 10 million, just an example, and your own sales revenue is 5 million. Those are the clarities that you need. That's why I started with the question of how many employees. I was able to say 66. He didn't say their terms of contract, which we needed a clarity, Bwana CEO. But further to that on the financials, how much, even if it's the county paying, there should be an highlight of what is that cost as much as they're being paid. Because the CEO here receives salary, the finance receives, and the other 66 staff. But what is their expenditure?
Maybe for purposes a disclosure note for purposes of the users of finance, even if they are not getting money from, they don't have money, but for someone to know, okay, this organization, they have staff, what is the amount? They have as a disclosure note.
I've heard the governor that next financial year, 2025, 2026, is going to budget, give a grant for the salaries. I believe the financial year is still very young. If we leave it until next year, this query will still be there. So I'm thinking, the governor should request that he gets a supplementary budget so that, they fully transfer, all the employees that work for the municipal, basically now they're employees of the county, the executive. So he needs to release them to the municipal, give them as a grant first, all the salary they get, transfer to them, give them that grant, and then also put them on target, on their own source revenue, which we are waiting for from Kuyo to tell us how much is he collecting. So that what Butinda wants to know, did you collect 10 million or 5? How much is your salary? So that eventually the shortfall is what the governor should be helping them as a grant, as you push them to collect, to cover, so that they can sustain themselves. Because the 36 million or so they are getting is basically that should not go to recurrent, it should go to development of the municipal to do those sewer system, whatever.
Yeah,
so I think so that here also, because we are belaboring on something that basically, yeah.
Yeah, that will come. But I just wanted to get clarity from the governor. Are these employees, county government employees, seconded to the municipality, or they are purely municipality employees?
Mr. Chairman, these are county. Remember, we said this is relatively a young municipal.
Yes.
And at its formation, we seconded county staff to the municipality. Of course, we had to bring in the board, and this is the time now we are struggling to really get our foothold as far as this municipal is concerned. And as we said earlier, this is the first audit ever. And that is why some of the issues are not very clear. Coming to the point raised by Honorable Krisang, that we can do supplementary instead of waiting for the next budget. We can do, why not? Actually, there's going to be a supplementary very soon, which was not meant for this purpose, but we can incorporate that. These finances have been budgeted for this salary. We can easily include it in that supplementary so that we will fast track what the committee has been directing since we came here. Matters to do with the sewerage disposal and these other things, the executive has been funding, and once we give them this grant and we give them that target, as you said, probably they'll be able to raise the requisite funding for these exercises. So I heed your direction that we will do a supplementary and incorporate these things that the committee has raised.
Yeah, but I think the issue I was trying to raise when I asked about whether these staff are seconded or not is then you would need to deal with that issue first before you you even deal with supplementary budget. Because if they are employees of the county government, that means their payroll details are on the other side. So you need to decide so that the staff are moved to the municipality and then salaries are sent to the municipality.
That's fine. I think we will look at possibilities of fully releasing them to the municipal. We will sit down with the HR department, what is the requirement, because we have no problem with that actually. It's only the process that we need to be guided through. Do we advertise afresh and recruit, or do we simply say this staff are now, from now henceforth, fully under municipal or something? Those are the nitty-gritties. We will sit down with HR department, but in principle, we have agreed with what you have said, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. The on-source revenue?
Thank you, Chair. Our own source revenue for financial year 2022-2023 is Kenyan shillings 8,383,768.
Are you familiar with the other previous ones?
Unless I get back to the record,
Okay,
I can't remember off it.
that's okay. Chair, you see with my query for the recurrent cost, there is a staff cost that would have guided us, you know, versus how much they're paid versus how much they are able to collect. But thank you for the response. If I would just quickly ask the governor, the 36 million grant, it's indicated here that it was both for development and recurrent expenditure. What developments did you undertake?
Mr. Chairman, the development we undertook, I think one of the queries which was even highlighted by the auditor earlier, which he said is even resolved, is the cover paving blocks within the municipality, which was the major development we undertook using that grant. We did street lighting in the municipality. We did some border sheds, and we did toilets within the municipality, Mr. Chairman. Those are the street lights I've said. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are some of the development activities we undertook using that financing.
Oh, okay, thank you, Governor. The last question: what's your location currently?
I'm sorry.
What's your location for your county?
For the county.
Yeah.
The whole allocation,
yes.
Not
yes.
for the municipal, but the county.
The county of Marsabit.
7.5 billion.
No. Yes, 7.5 billion. Chair, the reason I'm just raising this, you know, I'm the Vice Chair of Finance and Budget, and you know, after the rejection of the finance bill, before the rejection, we had given counties 400 billion. And we are now at a point whereby Treasury has sent for amendments of the Division of Revenue. That aside, it brings my concern to your own source revenue, which is very little, at 8.3. And there might be, you know, we're not sure, but Senate will support, of course, counties. But you should also pull your socks as far as the on-source revenue is concerned, because you will not be able to survive like this. And especially if, sorry to say, but if the mediation committee lowers that figures and agrees to 380, if. So you need the finance, the CEO, you need to pull your socks as far as the on-source revenue is concerned so that you are able to sustain. Otherwise, having the hope and the faith of depending that the governor will be able to allocate money, yet the chances of funds being reduced at a higher level, it will be prudent as the CEO to focus on ensuring you increase this on-source revenue? Thank you, Chair.
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. In fact, I agree 100% with what Honorable Senator Mutinda has raised, that we have to up our game as far as on-source revenue is concerned. Only yesterday, Mr. Chairman, I had a meeting with my team and we resolved the next 2 weeks we will have a workshop purely on revenue issues in the county. We said we must fully automate, and the department must present to me concrete measures that they are going to take to improve revenue generation in Marsabit County. So I agree with you 100% your suggestion, and we are seized of that matter. We will take it up head on so that next time we appear before this committee, we shall have a favorable report as far as on-source revenue is concerned.